him on Saturdays and Sundays here on the radio station, but Mr. Pat Rose is going to be making a special appearance here in our lovely studios, and I can't wait to talk to him. He is a blast to talk to, even on the phone, and Pat takes any conversation, and we'll either end up talking about fishing or outdoors, or he'll end up talking about wrestling. Now, tonight, my primary mission is to talk about wrestling with Pat Rose. There's a special reason that we're going to be talking about wrestling, and we'll do that tonight and make that big announcement about Pat Rose. He's getting inducted into the Alabama Wrestling Hall of Fame. Yes, him and his tag team cohort. We'll be talking about how their career got to this point to where they are being included into that specific Hall of Fame. And wrestling, has been around primarily since the 60s. I mean, where it's really caught on to its popularity. And Pat and others have really made this a fun sport to watch. And sometimes people want to get involved in wrestling, and it's done Pat well. We're going to talk about that history in order to make this a fun show to listen to. And we want to encourage you, if you've got a wrestling question you want to talk to Pat about, well, you can do that here this evening. Talk to Pat Rose live on the Locker Room Show here with Sam Jordan. All right. High school football. We've been talking about it. And, we're just really looking forward to seeing one of those pure sports finally get back into action here on Friday nights. Now, we're actually going to be bringing you a Thursday night game next Thursday, August the 16th, from Finley Stadium in the Erlanger Kickoff Classic that will have Baylor and Notre Dame performing and trying to work out some of the bugs because they only get about 2 real weeks of practice time, or at least most schools all across the country only get that 2-week window where they get to prepare, and where schools are getting the opportunity to kind of figure out what corrections or transitions that they need to make. They're going to be able to find out here Friday night and also Saturday night over at Finley Stadium. And the football jamboree will get all underway beginning at 5:30 Friday night with CCS taking on Sale Creek. Hickson will take on then CCS at 6, Sale Creek and East Ridge at 6:30, Tyner and Hickson at 7. East Ridge and Tyner will get underway at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, Walker Valley and Notre Dame. Then at 8:30, Notre Dame and Bradley Central. At 9 o'clock, McCallie and Walker Valley. At 9:30, Bradley Central and McCallie will be wrapping up that evening's worth of high school prep action. Then on Saturday at 4:30, Howard and Boyd Buchanan will face off. At 5 o'clock, Grace and Howard. At 5:30, Boyd Buchanan and Central. And then after that, Central will take on Grace at 6, Signal Mountain and Soddy Daisy at 6:30, Soddy Daisy and East Hamilton at 7, Signal Mountain and Ottawa at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, East Hamilton and Red Bank will square off, 8:30, Ottawa and Brainerd. And then at 9 o'clock, Baylor and Brainerd. And I think there's one other game. That is Baylor and Red Bank at 9:30. So I thought that there was. But anyway, it'll be a good way to kind of whet that appetite with high school football action getting underway. Then you can join Nooga Radio 92.7 FM as we'll be bringing you high school football action from around the region beginning on Thursday, August 16th, as we said, with Notre Dame and Baylor at Finley Stadium. Be glad to be bringing you that broadcast. Keon Rose, Nick LaFew, and I'll probably join in as well as we'll have action going on the start of the 2018 season. And finally, high school football getting back underway under the lights, Friday night lights, except with this one exception, with a Thursday night game to kick off the season. So that's all going to get underway here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. How's your day going? Was it a good day, busy day, hectic day, or just kind of taking it easy? Well, I don't think everybody was taking it easy. I know I've been running here, there, and everywhere, trying to get a lot of last-minute preparations made on the high school football season. Yeah, I mean, before you know it, a week and a half will be here, and it's high school football season. So we've got a lot of things going on, and we'll be telling you more about that as we get along into this season. We'll have the countdown to kickoff beginning at 7 o'clock on Friday nights, and that'll be sponsored by One-on-One Personal Fitness, personal training, located over on East Brainerd Road at Shallowford, and proud to partner up with them and giving you all the information, all the 411 that you need to get your Friday night started off right. And then we'll have Keon and Nick bringing you, not Nate, Nick, that guy that doesn't like the H word in Knoxville. I pick on him all the time. But anyway, we'll be having high school football with Keon and Nick. And throughout the game, we'll be bringing you scoreboard updates from around the region. We're working with the Chattanooga Times Free Press and giving you all the latest scoring updates and everything. Met with Stephen Hargis today. And I tell you what, we both cannot wait for high school football to get underway here in the Tennessee Valley. It's the best sports season out of all with high school sports. Now, I'm partial to basketball and baseball, but football, just the electricity that's in the neighborhood. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. The electricity is there. It is not necessarily on fire, but it's smoking pretty good. And we can't wait for that. We'll be interacting with a lot of their reporters and bringing you the excitement that you just can't find anywhere else. And let me make that little adjustment there. It seems like every day I've got to adjust the cameras because we've got, well, looks like I froze up on Facebook Live there for a moment, but I'm sure it'll kick back in here in just a moment. Don't know what's going on with that one. But anyway, YouTube, wow, it went away. Okay. Sometimes that happens, I guess. But anyway, if you'd like to participate in tonight's show, you can do so by calling us up at 423-800-8949. That's 423-800-8949. Be glad to take your phone calls, talk about whatever sport it is. And, of course, when we get Mr. Rose in here, we will find out what your thoughts are on wrestling. And talking to a legend in wrestling and also the host of Set the Hook that you can hear every weekend on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. Glad to have you along wherever you may be. Once again, 423-800-8949 is that number to call. And we talked a little bit about the kickoff jamboree that's going to be getting underway Friday night. And I'm sure between myself and Mike and Nick and Keon, we're going to get all kinds of information there. But one of the teams that I think is going to be fun to watch throughout this upcoming 2018 season is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And I'm not talking about the one out of South Bend, Indiana either. I'm talking about the one right here in Chattanooga. You know, last football season, they switched to the single wing offense, and it was more popular during the days of leather helmets, giving it a new age twist. That Charles Fant, the head coach, 9 starters back on an offense that averaged 43 points during an 11-game win streak. And now we're back with Facebook Live, but they have the bulk of their starters back. 3 of them on the offensive line, including Jacob Brigman, Dallas Brown, And among the returners in the backfield will be Mr. Football finalist Cameron Wynn, who totaled nearly 2,000 yards in his college scholarship offers from nearly 20 FBS programs alone. Yeah. But Parker Brock will be more than likely taking snaps at quarterback. Plenty of players that he can get that ball to, including speedsters Tariq Nelson and Jeffrey Watkins. And it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. And next Thursday night at Finley Stadium, hopefully we can get a preview of what we are expecting to see out of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish when they take on Baylor. And Baylor's not going to be a bad team either. So, it will be fun to watch Friday night, Saturday night with the Jamboree going on over at Finley. Hopefully you can get a chance to go. If not, we'll talk about it over the weekend and especially on Monday and all through next week. The other thing, and you'll hear about this, especially on Saturday with the Breakfast Blitz, heard from 8 to 10 a.m. Pat says he's on the way. I take your word on it, my friend. Can't wait till you get here. Anyway, if you'd like to interact on our Facebook Live, you can do so. Just like Pat did, letting me know that he will be here for our second segment. And but Nick LaFew will give us all the 411, especially with Tennessee Vols football. Now, college doesn't get underway for a couple of weeks after the high school season gets underway, but Tennessee, I think, is going to be one of the teams that is going to surprise the rest of the SEC. You can't do any worse than what they did last year with the Butch Jones debacle and then, the interim coach that came in there to finish out the last couple of games of the season. And news coming out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, on the possibility that Jalen Hurts may transfer to Tennessee. Hurts evidently is looking at getting edged out by Tagovailoa, who came in when Hurts got hurt and won the national championship game for the Crimson Tide, which Pruitt was a part of. Well, it looks like it's Tagovailoa's quarterback job, even though Hurts, has had the better season. And so Jalen Hurts has been alluding to the fact that he may want to come and play at Tennessee. He may have to sit out this season. Okay, that's well and good. He's a sophomore going to become a junior. So he's still going to have a couple seasons that he can play in Knoxville if he makes that move. And, even though with Keller Christ and Jared Garantano, Tennessee's not in a bad position to where they can make some noise on their own, just with those two individuals there. Christ, as you know, is a fifth-year senior. He transferred. He's a graduate senior from Stanford. He put up some good numbers, but he's wanting an opportunity to be able to play. And evidently they thought, okay, he's already graduated. Let's give somebody coming up through the ranks an opportunity to where they can have several seasons under their belt. So Chris made the decision late last year to transfer to Tennessee as a graduate senior. Okay. Tennessee has brought in a lot of top recruits across the country. That's why I'm saying, I'm not no Punxsutawney Phil and prognosticating here or anything, but I'm telling you what, Tennessee is going to be much better than a 4-8 football team. I think they're going to do at least 7 or 8 victories in this first season with Jeremy Pruitt. Now, year 2 with Pruitt, he's probably going to be expected to do much better than his first season. My good buddy Nick LaFew thinks 5-6 victories, somewhere in that neighborhood. I disagree. I think Tennessee is going to make a major statement. If they can take care of business up through their games that they start to play Alabama, Georgia, and LSU and Florida and those teams, and they can go into that big part of the schedule in October, Tennessee will go far. They won't even get a bowl game. I'm a Razorback fan, but I'm telling you what, everybody's underestimating what Tennessee is going to do in this upcoming football season. What's your thoughts on it? 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949, or you can message us on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM on Facebook. And, of course, we're on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Hello, Facebook Live. All right. And, if I'm like Pat Rose, you can't wait for fishing season to get here, or you can't wait to watch wrestling. Well, with me, high school and college football, those are the two things that I can't wait for. And high school football next Thursday night right here on Nuga Radio. Can't wait. All right. Now, I kind of alluded to this last week, talking about the coaches poll that came out from the major college coaches. And, there's 65 votes from the coaches. Alabama got 61 first place votes. Clemson got ranked second with 3 first place votes. And Ohio State got ranked at third with 1 first place vote. I'm telling you what, this was done prior to the Urban Meyer scandal, I guess you could say. Georgia got picked 4th, Oklahoma 5th, Washington 6th, Wisconsin 7th, Miami 8th, my Penn State and Nittany Lions 9th, and Auburn 10th. Well, I thought Georgia would have been the number 2 team, not Clemson. I tend to disagree on that one. I think that Georgia deserves a lot more love than what they got in that picking. Now, after that, you've got Notre Dame at 11, Michigan State at 12, Stanford at 13, Michigan at 14, USC at 15, TCU, the Horned Frogs, at 16, Virginia Tech at 17, Mississippi State at 18. That's even with new head coach Joe Moorhead, who was the former defensive coordinator at Penn State. And I think he will do an outstanding and awesome job over there. Florida State at 19, West Virginia at 20, Texas at 21. Keon's kind of happy about that. Boise State at 22, Central Florida at 23, which may be a little bit overrated, even though they thought that they were national champions because they went undefeated. Okay. Who did you play compared to Alabama? LSU at 24, Oklahoma State at 25. Yeah. So it'll be interesting when Tennessee takes on West Virginia over in Charlotte on the first weekend of the season. West Virginia coming in with that number 20 ranking. Whether or not Tennessee can stand up to them in their quest in being a powerhouse in the SEC. Once again, 423-800-8949 is the phone number to call, or you can also message us on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM's Facebook page, Facebook Live, and we'd be more than glad to talk to you about sports coming up here in our second segment, which is not that far away. Pat, you still got time, is Mr. Pat Rose. And I do put Mr. out on front of that because he deserves the respect that he has earned and deserves. And now he's going to be an inductee into the Alabama Wrestling Hall of Fame. And he's just an overall great guy as well. So he's also the host of Set the Hook that you can hear here several times throughout the weekend. And you just can't find a better fishing show than Set the Hook with Pat Rose, one of the top-rated programs in all of Chattanooga. We're going to have him here coming up in the next segment, so stick around, get those questions ready, get that speed dial going as well. And once we get going, Now let's talk some wrestling, maybe some fishing too, with Pat Rose coming up here after the break on the Locker Room Show with Sam Jordan here on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM. Back with you in a moment.
Traffic, news, and information. Nuga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
A TVA contractor was cited for allegedly exposing workers to dangerous electric shocks. One worker was seriously injured by high voltage power lines at the Sequoia nuclear plant in Saudi Daisy. Chattanooga-based Dayan Zimmer faces fines of over $71,000. A Saudi Daisy teen is clinging to life after an ATV accident left him hospitalized over the weekend. 14-year-old Bryson Scott was riding his four-wheeler on Old Hunter Road in Ottawa when he slammed into a utility pole. There's an event page that's set up on Facebook called Pray for Bryson. And Eastridge City Mayor Scott Miller is stepping down, telling city council members that it's time to enjoy retirement. Miller has only been the city manager for a few years, coming on board in 2016. His last day in office will be October the 26th. Val St. John for Nuga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
David Toulis. I made the move 1 o'clock every weekday afternoon, 1 till 3, Nuga Radio.
92.7 Chattanooga weather.
Staying warm and muggy out there through your nighttime hours. Overnight lows only 70 to 73. For Wednesday, hot, humid again, 88 to 90. But a few late day showers and storms will move in from the north and west, with showers and storms more likely Thursday and Friday, highs near 85. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette, or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Sortine 12, Chief Meteorologist at your 4.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
I got my business up and running, and it's already expanding. I got lucky. Lucky because I found Signal Voice and Data. Signal Voice and Data can incorporate all of my business information sharing and communications seamlessly, keep my costs down, and let me work more productively with endless connectivity no matter where I might be. That's called working smart, not hard. Go to signalvoicetn.com and bring the future of communication to your business today. signalvoicetn.com.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge, but if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. Don't just dream it, find it at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com. That's right, Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello?
Who am I speaking with?
Eric.
You're our winner.
Really?
You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nuga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nuga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Do you hear that? That, my friend, is not what you're thinking. That is the new 2018 Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Yeah, Indian. Indian motorcycle is more than a bike. It's an experience, an American icon. And Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga is the only place you'll find their new 2018 line. Are you ready to ride? Join the club. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign, 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Call 423-875-3600 if you're looking to expand your professional look of your business. Then consider the vast opportunities that are available when you locate your office with the Rains Group family. Remember, it's location, location, location. And the Rains Group has the location for your professional office. Check out the spaces for lease at Executive Business Park on the Lee Highway. Small or large, we will be able to suit your needs with the Rains Group. Call 423-875-3600 for the business professionals with the Rains Group.
Chattanooga Paint and Decorating would like to remind you it's so hot out there. And guess what? Your deck is taking a beating. It's probably starting to show wear. If you're hosting friends, get your deck entertainment ready with a fresh coat of stain and protect it from heat, sun, and rain with a quality sealant. If you want to get to work, Chattanooga Paint and Decorating want to help you. For exterior paint, stains, sealants, and supplies, stop by Chattanooga Paint and Decorating today on Hicks and Pike across from Valvoline or online at ChattanoogaPaint.com.
Nuga Radio. Are you brain dead? Still voting for pathetic liberals? Take 3 hours of Sean Hannity from 3 to 6.
Nuga Radio.
Then call us in the morning between 9 and 11.
92.7
Nuga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nuga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Nuga Radio 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4. And we're here in segment number 2 of tonight's show. And Mr. Pat Rose making a grand entrance into the world headquarters here at Nuga Radio. How are you, sir?
Oh, brother, I am great. It's been a busy running here and there day, I tell you what. How's it going?
Not bad. It's been crazy as we're preparing for high school football, if you may have heard on the way in. But when I got to talk to you earlier today, it's like, Pat, we need to talk.
Oh, yeah, man.
And
yeah,
it's like,
let's talk some professional wrestling, man.
Let's do that. Or is it wrestling?
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Alabama Wrestling Hall of Fame has called your name.
Alabama Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame has called Pat and Randy Rose, the Rose cousins. You know, we were the Southeastern Tag Team Champions numerous times. We always fought them Armstrongs. Back then, they were called the Party Boys, but we always fought them tooth and nail, and we won these belts right here. This is the NWA Southeastern Tag Belt, the original one that I wore. 35 years later, 25 years later, I got it back in my hands. Unbelievable.
Wow. So the Rose Cuz pretty much dominated wrestling throughout the Southeast. I mean, where did it take you to?
No, you know what? We were working for Ron Fuller, the Tennessee stud, down in Pensacola, Florida, and we covered Birmingham, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, Dothan, Alabama, over into Florida, Pensacola, Panama City, and it was a perfect territory to get a good tan, lay out on the beach. Our furthest trip was 250 miles.
Wow.
And that's what you want. Plus, you're making money.
Yeah.
You know? You're making money.
Now, a lot of people, you know, think about wrestling as being fake, but there may be some aspects to wrestling as being fake, you know, already staged. But for the most part, I mean, you are putting havoc on your body.
Ooh, here we go. Did you ever see the John Stossel, David Schultz deal where David Schultz slapped the shit out of John Stossel?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever see that?
No. Am I going to get that?
No, you're not going to get that because it's went too far now. Everybody is smart. Back in my day, when you have Tojo Yamamoto and Gypsy Joe telling you at 19 years old, Pat Rose, I'll break your legs if you do what you know what I mean.
Right.
And I'm not ever going to admit anything. I'm not a performer. I'm a professional wrestler. And tell 4 and 5 cervical on my neck that it's fake.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Actually, years ago, when I was over in Little Rock, in that market, we always saw a lot of Mid-South wrestling.
Oh, love Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
What was that? Barton Arena.
Barton Coliseum.
Barton Coliseum.
Yes. Many Saturday night fights that went on. Well, there were fights, all right, but it was wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember as a kid at 8 years of age, I went to my first professional wrestling event, Skandar Akbar.
Yeah. Oh, man, you're kidding. I love Skandar.
I don't even know if he's still alive.
He's not.
No?
He's not.
A lot of the good ones. And then there was Big Jim.
Duggan.
Yes.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah. And then there was the Oklahoma Cowboy.
Bill Watts.
Yes. Wow.
I was down in Louisiana when the Rock and Roll Midnight Express feud started. When all that started, I was there. I was making money hand over fist, first, second, third match. My job was, first, second, third match, was to get that crowd ready for the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
And they loved them. Midnight was the top heels. They hated them. Wanted to see them get beat up. But I knew what my job was, and every night I'd go out with pride. Hey, we're going to get these guys fired up, and they would be fired up and ready to go. Ricky Morton, Rock and Roll Express, made me a lot of money. Heck yeah.
And you owe him a lot of gratitude.
Owe him a lot of gratitude, man. You know, he's in the, him and Robert, the Rock and Roll is in the WWE Hall of Fame. And well-deserved. We need to get the Midnight Express, Bobby Eaton, Dennis Condrey, Stan Lane, and Randy Rose in the Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah. What was pretty much your shtick? And I know you weren't necessarily as an entertainer, but what was your main drive and focus when you were on that mat?
You know, our deal, I was an amateur wrestler. I wrestled in high school from 8th grade to 12th grade. And I brought with the guys that you could do this with, I'd bring a mat style. You know, I'd do a bow and arrow. I'd do a small package. I'd do a chicken wing. You know, I wanted to be known as a tough-ass wrestling fool. You know what I mean? And that's what I got over as. Yeah. I didn't talk much. Randy done the talking, and I was a wrestler. I was ready to go, you know. So, and I think that got over with us because Randy was a good talker. I mean, he had been with Dennis Condrey, the original Midnight Express, the whole deal, you know.
How tough is it on a body in the ring?
You know what? If you do it every night, it's fine. You're fine. But when it's time, you know, and I knew it was time to go out in the 90s, early 90s, when you start doing TV once or twice a week, the body starts hurting. The ropes hurt when you hit them. But if you're doing it every day, 7 days a week, sometimes twice Saturday and Sunday, it don't hurt. You're in shape. You're ready to go.
Those ropes, I mean, are thick. I mean, when you look at it on TV, it doesn't look like it's that much of a rope, but it really is. I mean, it's thick. I mean, you can put your hand up in like a C, and it's like when you get thrown or you're in that running position and trying to bounce off the ropes, that's got to be painful.
Yeah. Again, if you do it every night, it's not. My son had a birthday party down here at Paul Lee's. They do wrestling themed birthday parties, right? And I tried to hit the ropes and run them real hard. And it was like, oh my God, it about killed me. Yeah. But if you do it every night, it don't hurt. Your back's in shape, you know, from hitting the ropes every night. And you have your favorite rings, you know, the Houston, Texas ring, loud. When you hit it, it bangs, it booms, it makes a sound, it carries. The ropes feel good. They're not loose, they're not too tight. You know, but you have your favorite rings at the different places you go.
In your career, which has amassed how many years?
15. I was in the business 15 years, and that's all I done was pro wrestling.
How was it on family life?
Oh, it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Because if you weren't at home, you were practicing. If you weren't...
We were on the road every night.
Right.
During the territory days, you were on the road every night. I remember working every night, 365, twice Saturday and Sunday for 3 years straight one time.
Wow.
You know?
And how did the wife take it?
I hated it. You know, be married one week, next week she's gone, you know. and I understand that.
Yeah.
Ain't no normal human being going to take that. But there has been guys that's been married 40 years to the same woman in the professional wrestling business. I don't see how they done it, but they did.
Yeah.
They did.
What town did you enjoy going to over and over?
Yeah. Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay. What was special about Birmingham?
A lot of fighting with the fans. And I tell you what.
Literally?
Oh, yeah. And here's a story. Randy Rose and I coming out to the ring, and Bill Ash was with us. Here we're coming to the ring, and I'm walking. I don't have my belt on. I have it raised up over my head. All right. I get too close to the barricade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This fan hit me right in the mouth. I mean, just waylaid me right in the mouth. I threw the belt at him. Somehow we got the belt back, but I threw the belt at him. We drug him over the barricade and started putting the boots to him. I mean, just beating the crap out of him. Because back then, in them days, if you come over that barricade, you're ours.
You're fair game.
And you're going to get hurt. But we were putting the boots to him. Come to find out, he had a 25 automatic in his pocket. Was he there to kill me? I don't know.
You wasn't going to take that chance?
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. Well, we're here with Pat Rose, who is getting inducted into the Alabama Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's also the host here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM with Set the Hook, which there's at least 7 times over the weekend that you can listen to Set the Hook.
Oh, we're all over the place, buddy. And we
Right.
love being on Nooga Radio, man. We love it more than anything in the world.
Now, while we still got a little bit of time here, you know, we still want to talk about the Hall of Fame, but when you made that decision to hang the belt up and to step out of the ring full time, how long did it take for you to come up with the idea of Set the Hook?
You know what? A few years. I started missing. I know it's cliche to say I started missing the limelight, but I started missing the limelight. And a friend of mine, I started fishing tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And fish those for a few years, and you get to dress up in the jerseys, just like a robe. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
basically the same thing, just you're fishing. And a guy from a church we used to go to, Evan Stone, he said, "Pat, won't you start a fishing show?" I said, "Well, heck, okay, sure." So I go in, they started letting me doing segments with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at home and I'm getting my information together, and I got 10 minutes and I'm good. I'm ready to go. 2 minutes in, I was done. And I'm like, well, what I do now? You know, I mean, well, I didn't say that, but,
Right.
you know, they covered for me, but that was it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I started having guys like Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance, Roland Martin, some of the top dogs in the bass fishing industry on the show. And I figured out I have guests. I can have me about 5 questions and they do all the work.
Right.
They do all the talking. And with those guys, those caliber guys being on our show, and they're accepting us. And now we've been in our 10th year, 500 shows in January. They're accepting us. We can call anybody at any time and get them.
Right.
And that says a lot. That means a lot to us, you know.
Now, we'll get to this here in a little bit, but let's go back to the Alabama Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. That event is coming up here next month.
It's September 1st. It's in Oxford, Alabama at the Oxford Civic Center.
Okay.
The doors open at 5:30. The Hall of Fame induction starts the doors open at 5. The Hall of Fame induction starts at 5:30, and there will be a wrestling show
Okay.
right after the induction of the Hall of Fame and stuff.
And you'll be one of those performers?
No.
No.
I'll be probably on the way home. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll have to stay there. And Camden loves that stuff. My son Camden, he's a musician. He plays He plays the drums, plays the guitar.
He's actually pretty good.
Oh, appreciate it, man. He got to play with. If we got enough time, he got to play with Cecil Allen Moore at Songbirds the other week down in Songbirds South, the big 500 seat venue, and played a song with him. Did a good job. Proud of that boy.
And he ain't that old either.
He's 13.
I know.
I didn't know where I was at 13. Did you? You know what I mean?
No, I knew I wanted to get into radio at 14, which was the earliest.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew at 12 I was going to be a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
I knew it. I used to go to the Memorial Auditorium down here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Started my career at 19 at WDEF TV 12.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, my God, I loved it. First match I had was on TV against Ken Lucas. He put me out with a sleeper. And I was Pat Smith at the time, and then Nick Goulas come up to me and said, boy, at 19 years old, scared to death, boy, you don't look like a Smith. From now on, you're Pat Rose. Okay, yes, sir. And it's Pat Rose it's been for 15 years.
Huh. Let me ask you this. Where do you see wrestling at here in the Tennessee Valley, North Georgia area? I mean, there's places along the way that you can go and catch pro wrestling. Kind of on a limited basis. It's not predominant like it had been back years ago.
Well, you know what? They've got a promoter in Ringo. His name is Paul Lee. Nature Boy Paul Lee does the Ric Flair gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got AWF-WOW. And he puts on a show every year. It's called Wrestle Jam. And he brings in all the top dogs, all the old school guys, some of the new WWE guys as well. It sells out at the Ringo Colonnade every year. Every year it sells out. So that's one show you can go to here in the Tennessee Valley. Another one is TWE over in Red Bank. Jared Newman and his grandpa run a show over there, and it sells out. So there's a lot of good wrestling around here. Used to have Empire here that sold out all the time, and I don't know what happened to them, but that was a good show as well. So there's a lot of good shows around.
Do you feel like that there's room for more? I mean, more action to be taking place?
You know, I hadn't really thought about that. I'm concentrating now on my son, number one.
Right.
And, and radio. You know, I want to put out a good product. I want to entertain people. And I love the radio thing. Love it.
Pat Rose here with us. He's the host of Set the Hook, and he's heard here every weekend on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM, as well as on other great radio stations throughout the country. Pat's been able to take Set the Hook, I believe you told me here recently, to Utah.
Yeah, man. We're in Provo, Utah, Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got the Southeast pretty much.
Yeah, we got the Southeast. We got the Southeast wrapped up. Plus, we just Armed Forces Radio Network. We've been on there a couple years, and they just come back on the air. They're strong, and that's going to be a good one for us as well.
Well, that's awesome. But you can hear Pat. I know the earliest that you can hear Pat, I believe, is at 6 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And or it's either 7. I know we made a few tweaks to the lineup and everything, but awesome show. And we try to give him as much love as possible on the weekends, and just really puts out a great product. I mean, you cannot find a better fishing outdoor show than what you can do with this guy. And I've worked in network sports radio before. You really do an awesome job.
Wow.
And
man.
you don't have to pay me.
That means a lot. Here's your 20.
Yeah. Just give me a steak and we'll call it even there, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Alabama Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame's newest inductee, Pat Rose, along with Randy Rose, the Rose cousins, will be a part of that. Who are some of the others that are getting inducted?
Man.
I mean, there's some pretty good names there.
Yeah, man. Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs.
Yeah.
Jerry Stubbs, he was all over the place. He had a great body. He worked out hard. They've got, oh, my Lord, if you hadn't asked me, I'd have known. Oh, Bull Buchanan. Good WWE guy. He worked for WWE a while. He was one of the boys down here. And Daphne was on TNA for a while, and she's a screamer, man. She'll scream top of your lungs. Scares you to death.
So a lot of good talent. How many people are already in the Hall of Fame down there?
Well, last year the Armstrong family got in. Bullet Bob, Road Dogg, Scott, Steve, and Brad. Brad Armstrong passed away at a young age, man. And you can't talk about professional wrestling without talking about the Armstrongs. We've wrestled them a number of times. Bullet Bob and Steve, whichever two they want to throw at us, we wrestle them, but they're the most beloved family in professional wrestling with the Guerreros, but.
Did you ever think this day was going to come? Getting inducted?
You don't think about it. 2012, I got inducted to the NWA Scenic City Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and that was big. That's my hometown.
Right.
And Bill Race inducted me, and Camden was right there with me, and Camden's going to be holding the belt when we do this one. He's going to be right there with me and Randy, And no, you don't think about it. You don't think about it. But when you make a post that, thank you, this and that, and you mention you're going into the Hall of Fame, when guys like Brian Knobbs of the Nasty Boys, WWE legends, like your post, that means a lot. That means they're looking. WWE's looking.
Right.
Sam Houston, when they like your post, that means WWE's looking. So they're paying attention to this year for some reason. Not saying it's me and Randy Rose, not saying it's Jerry Stubbs, but,
Pat Rose from Set the Hook. He's being inducted into the Alabama Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame coming up September 1st. Congratulations to our good friend. Make sure you tune in and listen to him each weekend right here on Nooga Radio. We've got more for you coming. Stick around. It's Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. Talk to you later.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chatta, Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
A pedestrian was struck by a car on Shaliford Road. It happened around 6 o'clock in the morning this morning. Hamilton County EMS, fire, and police all arrived on scene, and the victim was rushed to the hospital. The CPD's traffic division is investigating. Eastridge City Manager announced he's stepping down. 68-year-old Scott Miller told the city council members that it's time for him to enjoy his retirement. Mr. Miller's been the city manager since 2016. His last day in office will be October the 26th. A Saudi Daisy teenager was hospitalized and left clinging to life after an ATV accident in Ottawa. It happened on Old Hunter Road. He slammed into a utility pole, according to reports. A Facebook page and a fundraiser have been set up for the young man's medical bills. The family says he's awake and in good spirits. Sean Hannity Show weekdays 3 to 6. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7. Chattanooga weather.
Staying warm and muggy out there through your nighttime hours. Overnight lows only 70 to 73. For Wednesday, hot, humid again, 88 to 90. But a few late day showers and storms will move in from the north and west, with showers and storms more likely Thursday and Friday, highs near 85. Tired of the pressures and hassles of car shopping? Come see what more people are making the short drive to Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lafayette, or online at jacksongm.com. That's Jackson Chevy Buick GMC in Lafayette. And I'm Sortine 12, Sheep Meteorologist at your core.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Dear Merry Maids, please clean the kitchen and the cabinets and floors and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Merry Maids.
Call 423-954-7443.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga Roofing Contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Wow, Triumph Spitfire. I haven't seen one of those in ages. Boy, is it gorgeous.
Thanks. It was my grandfather's. Drives like a dream.
Where do you go to keep it up?
Rivermont Pure. I never thought I'd find a place, but they specialize in older and European cars. They get the hard-to-find parts and treat me right every time.
Rivermont Pure?
Yeah, they're on Hickson Pike across from Lupton Drive. I found them online at rivermontpureservice.com.
Rivermont Pure, import or domestic. If it rolls, they work it.
You know, this isn't working.
What?
I've always wanted to see Italy.
Oh, let me call Lisa.
With 20 years in the travel industry, Lisa Tanner and Travel Makers can make any dream destination come true. Think of Lisa as your own 24/7 travel concierge. Pick a place and she'll customize every detail. Go to lisatannertravel.com to plan your next travel experience.
Now this is incredible. Think Lisa can get us a layover in Greece?
Travel Makers, we sell the world.
Charge! Get back there, you dang Yankee! Great horny toads, I'm up north. Gotta burn my boots. They touched Yankee soil. Lay down your arms and step forward, Yankee.
What's the hassle, Schmassel?
My orders from General Lee is to hold